always used to feel a bit nervous sometimes, or I had that almost imposter syndrome.
Yes.
And would have moments of going, oh, my.
Can I do this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we don't have any scenes together so far, but she's actually living with me in my apartment, which is definitely interesting. I came back from a little vacation and like all of the rugs had moved. There were like little new flower pots and kitchen things. And I was like, okay.
Demi Moore, who made a rare appearance with all three of her daughters at the Vanity Fair's Oscars party on Sunday.
It's everything. It really is.
Rumor, Tallulah and Scout Willis posing alongside their mama before heading inside the event.
Y'all, Demi Moore's own daughter is spilling some seriously scalding tea about her mom's connection to P. Diddy and Ashton Kutcher's wild party scene. I'm talking jaw-dropping revelations about these infamous Hollywood gatherings that'll make your head spin. Are we finally uncovering some deep, dark secrets that Hollywood's been hiding? Or is this just another messy family drama playing out for all of us to see? Stick with me because, honey, this story is everything. Speaking of our leading lady, let me tell you, Demi Moore isn't just any Hollywood star, she's the Hollywood star. I'm talking mega successful, absolutely stunning, and completely dominating the acting scene since the 90s. This goddess has snatched up every award imaginable, including, get this, a Golden Globe and an Emmy. But oh darling, that's just the beginning of this wild ride.
Demi Moore is still sizzling. Last night's Golden Globes far from her first charade. In the last 4 decades, she starred in endless box office hits from 1985's St. Elmo's Fire
How come you never made a pass at me?
to 1997's G.I. Jane.
Now let's dive into Demi's romantic history because it is absolutely fascinating. Our girl has walked down the aisle not once, not twice, but 3 times. Her second marriage was to none other than action superstar Bruce Willis. You know, the dreamboat himself. Together, they had 3 gorgeous daughters, Rumor, Scout LaRue, and Tallulah. When they split in 2000, they actually managed to keep things civil for their kids' sake. I mean, talk about mature.
They meet, marry, get pregnant in just 4 months. And then the next 10 years together are a blur of rearing 3 daughters, making 33 movies, and drifting toward divorce, determined to put their children first.
Demi met Ashton Kutcher a few years afterwards, but honey, hold on to your seats because this is where things get really interesting. In 2003, at some fancy dinner party, Demi crossed paths with the absolutely delicious Ashton Kutcher. And let me tell you, sparks flew instantly. But here's the scandalous part. Their relationship sent shockwaves through Hollywood faster than a lightning bolt. Why, you ask? Well, prepare yourself.
Settled by a woman who is 15 years older.
Gosh, I don't know. It's so silly.
Their relationship was shrouded with loads of judgment. The age gap between them was a whopping 15 years. Yes, you heard that right. 15 years. And let me spill some more tea. This wasn't even a one-time thing for Demi. She later went on to date Sean Friday, 24 years younger, and Daniel Hum, another 15-year difference. I mean, can we say cougar? Get it, girl. But here's the thing. Despite all the raised eyebrows and whispered judgments, Demi and Ashton just couldn't care less. Demi admitted she felt safe with him. And Ashton? He was totally cool with her ex-husband situation and absolutely adored her children. 2 years later, they tied the knot, completely ignoring all the haters and their opinions.
Safe. I had money. He loved my children. It wasn't something he feared. He seemed to be comfortable with the enormity of the ex-husband. I mean, I felt like I was not coming with baggage. I had trunks.
So here's the gist. Demi might have not given a damn. Now, while Demi might have been living her best life, not caring what the world thought about her May-December romance with Ashton, her daughters were struggling with this crazy new dynamic their mom had thrown them into. Rumor Willis got brutally honest about it all on Jada Pinkett Smith's Red Table Talk, and trust me, it was one episode you wouldn't want to have missed.
To talk about the pain passed down from parent to child. Welcome to me, Rumor and Tallulah.
Thank you. This is such a nice treat.
Rumor revealed that her self-esteem was greatly damaged. Rumor's confessions were absolutely heartbreaking. She revealed how her mom's poor self-image completely shattered her own self-esteem. While Demi was battling her demons, anxiety, addiction, depression, during her marriage, All that trauma just spilled over onto her precious daughters. Rumor admitted feeling completely unloved, no matter how much she tried to change her appearance. It's just devastating.
As the mother, your kid is gonna pick up on that, you know, and not be able to necessarily take in, oh, I'm so amazing because my mom says I'm amazing.
Right.
If my mom doesn't love herself, like how can I do
Right,
that?
how can I expect her to love her?
Like unworthiness, like I'm innately unlovable somehow, no matter how I look, what I weigh, like how my hair looks, whatever the outside reflection is, there's something innately about me that I have to earn love from people and like constantly prove myself.
Tallulah Willis also opened up about how her mother's life. But wait, there's more. Tallulah Willis also stepped into the spotlight with her own painful revelations. She exposed how her mom's attempts to hide her past and personal struggles only created this massive emotional wall between them. The impact was so severe that Tallulah found herself battling alcohol addiction by age 15, following right in her mother's footsteps. Thank goodness the family stepped in, getting her the help she needed through therapy and having her move in with Demi.
To hold back certain things from like sharing about her past, and I think that always made me feel very far away from her, and it always made me feel like I didn't know her very well.
And that's not all Rumor revealed about her mom. And if you think that's wild, just wait until you hear what else Rumor spilled to Howard Stern. She dished about her mom's thing for younger men, basically saying Ashton was just another trophy on Demi's wall. But here's the kicker. Rumor had the biggest crush on Ashton growing up. Her room was plastered with his posters. Can you imagine how awkward it was when Mommy Dearest started dating her teen crush? Talk about having to cross someone off your fantasy list.
But the thing was, you used to have posters of Ashton.
Totally did.
Like he's a hot looking dude. I mean, Ashton,
he was one of many on the wall, but
right.
He was up there.
hey, you know.
Was that not the weirdest thing for you?
It was definitely weird for a minute, but, you know, I have to commend him, and he was a really great stepfather, and really, you know, the perspective, like, shifted very quickly.
Did you
take down the picture?
like, how long do you wait before you take down the poster? Like,
However, apart from shock and surprise, but get this, despite the weirdness, Rumor actually admitted being a tiny bit impressed that her mom could snag such a hottie, though she never fully spelled out how the marriage affected their relationship. It's crystal clear that Ashton's presence drove a serious wedge between them. Surprisingly, though, Rumor and Ashton managed to stay friends even after he divorced her mom and married Mila Kunis.
first between your mother and Ashton, because you say to yourself, well, this is just not going to work. There's no way. I'm being protective of my mother. Do you think to yourself, I've got to stop this?
No, I mean, I feel like I was kind of impressed. I was like, yeah, girl, get it. All right.
Really?
Now y'all know Ashton is no stranger to controversy. Now, darling, let's talk about Ashton because this man is literally a magnet for controversy. He had this super close friendship with P. Diddy, and they were always photographed living it up at these absolutely insane parties. Ashton even admitted in interviews that he'd been to countless Diddy parties, even co-hosting one of those famous all-white affairs. But here's what's suspicious. Whenever he's asked about what actually went down at these parties, he gets all mysterious and tight-lipped. I mean, what exactly is he trying to hide?
Favorite genre of anecdote, if you
really?
have one, yeah.
Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, I can't tell that one either. I mean, I'm like actually cycling through them.
Well, as you might have guessed, Ashton is now Well, honey, now everything's hitting the fan. With all these horrifying allegations about what really happened at these parties coming to light, people are giving Ashton the side eye. I mean, how could he not have known about all the alleged crimes happening right under his nose? We're talking about some seriously dark stuff here. Human trafficking, SA, criminal activities. It's absolutely chilling.
When I give a party, I have to have an ambulance outside of the house. Paramedics ready.
It's not looking good for Ashton. With many critics, the speculation is running wild that Ashton might be the next celebrity to get slapped with a subpoena because of his connection to Diddy. And poor Demi isn't escaping the drama either. She was married to Ashton during all of this. Did she really have no clue what was happening? Was she turning a blind eye? The questions are endless. And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, an old video resurfaces that's making everyone's skin crawl. Picture this. Young actress Devin Aoki is chatting with Ashton right after winning at the MTV Music Awards when Diddy swoops in, congratulates her, and invites her to his infamous after-party. Devin agrees, and Diddy is absolutely thrilled about it.
I just want to say, everyone will suffer.
An after party along.
Now, a lot of y'all are wondering what the issue with this is, but here's the truly horrifying part. Devin was only 13 years old at the time. I mean, what kind of adult invites a child to parties known for R-rated activities? And Ashton just stood there smiling, not saying a word. Talk about red flags. While we don't know if Devin actually went to the party, the fact that she vanished from the spotlight shortly after makes everything seem even more suspicious. Ashton really needs to start choosing his friends more carefully because he is in hot water right now. And speaking of troubled pasts, Demi has always been open about her own traumatic childhood. She bravely revealed that her own mother had exploited her when she was just 15 years old. Absolutely heartbreaking.
And a devastating betrayal. Revealed by the man's cruel question, how does it feel to be whored by your mother for $500?
Well, in the wake of all this, Demi and Ashton. Now, here's where things get really complicated. Back in 2009, Demi and Ashton actually started an organization called Thorn to fight against human exploitation and SAED of young people. They were inspired after watching a documentary about exploited youth. Such a noble cause, right? Well, hold that thought. Because now, with all these horrifying allegations about Diddy coming to light, people are seriously questioning the organization's credibility. I mean, how can Ashton fight against exploitation while being besties with someone accused of these terrible crimes? The backlash got so intense that Ashton had to step down as board chair. And it gets worse. Remember that whole Danny Masterson situation? When Ashton and Mila wrote that letter defending him against those awful SA allegations? They had to publicly apologize for that one. The optics are just terrible for both Ashton and Demi's organization now. Talk about being too close to the wrong crowd.
Now his former co-stars are also paying the price for supporting him.
We are aware of the pain that has been caused by the character letters that we wrote on behalf of Danny Masterson.
It's complicated. Kutcher wants Masterson to be found innocent of the charges brought against him, but at the same time doesn't want his friend to get off the hook. Quote, I wholesale feel for anybody who feels like they were violated in any way.
Despite all these major scandals that Demi has been caught. But wait, because Demi's not done spilling her own tea. In her revelations about her marriage to Ashton, she confessed to being completely infatuated with him. We're talking full-on addiction levels of love. She was willing to do absolutely anything for him, and oh my goodness, did she ever pay the price for that devotion?
In front of me, which is the family I had. And I think the weight that it put on Ashton, it's kind of a natural thing to pull back when somebody's, clinging too tight.
Demi went into detail about how desperately she tried to keep up with her young husband's party lifestyle. Can you believe she actually broke her sobriety for him? Started drinking again just to fit in. And then there's the bombshell about the threesomes. Yes, you heard that right. Ashton apparently asked for them, and Demi agreed, only to deeply regret it later. The things we do for love, right?
Story. He expressed something that was of a fantasy, and it was in my efforts to want to please and be what I thought he wanted.
Right.
But honey, you can't outrun time. Ashton was in his wild party phase, and Demi just couldn't keep up. Then came those devastating cheating rumors, not just once, but multiple times. By 2011, their marriage crashed and burned in a totally predictable divorce that everyone saw coming from miles away.